Let's get right into it. Number 1. The sugar-coated hurt. Ever look back at your childhood and realize that the things you thought were normal actually left you feeling empty inside? Here's the wild part. Sometimes the stuff that's supposed to be sweet like treats, rewards, or even a parent's approval can actually be loaded with pain. It's like biting into candy and finding out it's all hollow inside. That's the sugar-coated hurt. Maybe you got a new toy every time you were sad, or your parents tried to buy your love instead of giving you a real hug. On the outside, it looked like you had it good, but deep down, you were starving for real connection. This kind of hurt is sneaky. It teaches you to chase after quick fixes, anything that gives you a hit of happiness, even if it doesn't last. Fast forward to adulthood, and you might find yourself reaching for junk food, booze, or even riskier stuff, just to fill that same old hole. The worst part, you might not even realize you're doing it. You just know you're always looking for something to make you feel better, even if it never really works. That's how childhood trauma can set you up for addiction, by making you crave sweetness in all the wrong places. Real talk, it's not your fault, but knowing where it started is the first step to breaking the cycle. Number 2. Stress playground. Ever feel like your brain is always on high alert? Like you're stuck in a never-ending game of dodgeball? Welcome to the stress playground. For a lot of us, childhood wasn't just about recess and snack time. It was about surviving chaos, drama, or even straight-up danger. When you grow up in a house where yelling, fighting, or unpredictability is the norm, your brain gets wired to expect the worst. It's like you're always waiting for the next ball to come flying at your head. Here's the kicker. Living in that kind of stress messes with your body and mind, big time. Your brain starts pumping out cortisol, the stress hormone, like it's going out of style. And when you're always stressed, you start looking for ways to chill out, even if it's just for a minute. That's where addiction sneaks in, whether it's vaping, drinking, or scrolling TikTok for hours. You're just trying to escape the stress playground. Your brain never left. The wild thing is, you might not even realize how much your childhood stress is running the show. You just know you can't relax, and you'll do anything for a break. That's why so many people with addiction issues have a history of childhood chaos. It's not about being weak, it's about your brain doing whatever it takes to survive. But you don't have to stay stuck in the playground forever. Number 3. The pleasure trap. Ever wonder why you keep chasing that next high, even when you know it's bad news? That's the pleasure trap, and it's a beast. When you grow up with trauma, your brain gets desperate for anything that feels good, even if it's just for a second. It's like you're always trying to outrun the pain, and every little hit of pleasure feels like a lifeline. But here's the catch. The more you chase it, the more you need, and the emptier you feel. Think about it. Maybe you started with candy or video games as a kid, just to get a break from the chaos at home. But as you get older, those little pleasures don't cut it anymore. So you level up. Maybe it's drinking, smoking, or something even riskier. Your brain gets hooked on the dopamine rush, and suddenly you're stuck in a cycle that's hard to break. It's like borrowing happiness from tomorrow, but the bill always comes due. The pleasure trap is real, and it's ruthless. It tricks you into thinking you're in control, but really, you're just running from the pain. If you've ever wondered why you can't stop, even when you want to, this is it. Childhood trauma rewires your brain to crave quick fixes, and addiction is the ultimate trap. But knowing the game is the first step to beating it. Number 4. The haunting of neglect. Ever feel like you're invisible, even in a room full of people? That's the haunting of neglect, and it's one of the most brutal leftovers from childhood trauma. When you grow up feeling ignored, unloved, or like you just don't matter, it sticks with you. It's like being haunted by a ghost that whispers, "You're not enough." Every time you try to connect with someone, here's the thing. Emotional neglect isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the quiet absence of hugs, encouragement, or someone asking how your day was. But that silence can be deafening. As you get older, you start looking for anything that fills that empty space. For a lot of people, that means turning to substances, risky behaviors, or even toxic relationships, anything to feel seen, even if it's just for a moment. The wild part, you might not even realize you're haunted. You just know you feel empty, and you'll do anything to make that feeling go away. That's how addiction sneaks in, promising comfort but delivering more pain. If you've ever felt like you're chasing something you can't name, this is probably it. The haunting of neglect is real, but it doesn't have to run your life forever. Number 5. The perfect child pressure cooker. Ever been called the good kid but felt like you were about to explode inside? That's the perfect child pressure cooker. When you grow up always trying to be perfect, never causing trouble, always getting good grades, making everyone else happy, it's like living with a ticking time bomb in your chest. The pressure to be flawless can be just as damaging as any other kind of trauma. Here's the real talk. Being the good kid often means hiding your real feelings, stuffing down your anger, sadness, or fear so you don't rock the boat. But all that pressure builds up, and sooner or later, it's gotta go somewhere. For a lot of people, that somewhere is addiction. You start looking for ways to let off steam. Maybe it's drinking, partying, or even just zoning out on your phone for hours. Anything to escape the pressure, even if it's just for a little while. The wild thing is, nobody sees it coming. On the outside, you look like you've got it all together. But inside, you're struggling to keep it together. If you've ever felt like you're living a double life, this is why. The perfect child pressure cooker is real, and it's dangerous, but you don't have to let it blow up your life. Number 6, the shame spiral. Ever mess up and feel like you're the worst person on the planet? Welcome to the shame spiral. For a lot of people with childhood trauma, shame isn't just a feeling, it's a way of life. Maybe you grew up getting blamed for stuff that wasn't your fault, or you were told you'd never be good enough. That kind of shame sticks, and it follows you everywhere. Here's the kicker. Shame is like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. And when you're drowning in shame, you'll do anything to escape, even if it means making things worse. That's where addiction comes in. Drugs, alcohol, or risky behaviors become a way to numb the pain, even if it's just for a little while. But the relief never lasts, and the shame just keeps piling up. The worst part, shame makes you want to hide. You stop reaching out for help, and you start believing you deserve to feel this way. But that's a lie. The shame spiral is a trap, and it's one a lot of people never see coming. If you're stuck in it, know this: you're not alone, and you're not broken. There's a way out, even if it feels impossible right now. Number 7, trigger trap memories. Ever have a random memory hit you out of nowhere, and suddenly you're right back in the worst moment of your life? That's the trigger trap memories effect, and it's no joke. Childhood trauma has a way of hiding in your brain, waiting for the perfect moment to jump out and mess with your head. Maybe it's a smell, a song, or even just a look someone gives you. Boom, you're back in the past, feeling all the old pain like it just happened. Here's the scary part. Those triggers can send you running straight for your old coping habits. For a lot of people, that means reaching for a drink, a pill, or anything else that promises quick relief. It's not about being weak, it's about your brain trying to protect you from pain, even if it means making things worse in the long run. The wild thing is, you might not even realize what set you off. You just know you need to escape, fast. That's how addiction keeps its grip, by using your own memories against you. But here's the good news. Once you start to recognize your triggers, you can start to break free. You don't have to let the past run your life. Number 8, the recovery revolution. Ever wonder if it's even possible to break free from all this mess? Here's the truth. Healing from childhood trauma and addiction isn't just a dream, it's a revolution. The recovery revolution is about fighting back, rewriting your story, and refusing to let your past call the shots. It's not easy, and it sure as hell isn't quick. But it's possible. The first step is getting real about what you've been through. That might mean talking to a therapist, opening up to a friend, or just admitting to yourself that you deserve better. The next step is learning new ways to cope, healthy ways that don't leave you feeling worse in the end. It's about building a support squad, finding your people, and realizing you're not alone in this fight. The wildest part? Every time you choose recovery, you're not just helping yourself, you're breaking the cycle for everyone who comes after you. That's real power. So, if you're ready to start your own recovery revolution, know this: you've got what it takes. Your past might explain your pain, but it doesn't get to decide your future.